What's good everyone, and welcome back to another video. If you're new around here, then please drop a like and subscribe on the video, and we are going to get straight into this. As you can see, I have got myself my first ever tier 2 limited, which I'm very excited to open. So starting off, going through the results of the game week, and then we will get into the rewards themselves. So Contender Classic Division 3. Put this team together, all expected start, and only one player started, which was Kevin Ortiz. Did okay, but obviously awful round. Same thing with this. This was obviously more of a throwaway team, but expected a few of these guys to start potentially to get a box. Obviously not the case. Challenger Classic Div 3. Connor Roberts did finally get a little bit more game time for Leeds. Esprilla and Eric Miller came off the bench, and Alzante did not play, so just basically another throwaway. Champ Div 3, another throwaway. All of these guys were not expected to start. Paredes did start, 90 minutes, 1-0 win, shot 46, and Yerai shot a 40 in 45 minutes, but another throwaway team. Cap 240, 75% chance that he was not going to start, and that was the case, which is why we opted for the lower threshold. But as you can see, no one really did anything. Girotti had 2 big chances missed, which was a shame, especially as captain. But Yimichara didn't do anything, and then the 2 other Athletic Club boys didn't do anything either. The other Challenger Classic lineup was another box grinding lineup. Reward from last week, actually won got a goal coming off the bench, which was nice. And Luis Abraham, my other reward, shot himself a 48. So the 2 rewards doing pretty well, and I think going into next season I may do something with the rewards I win, but I'll get into that at a later date. Cap 270, another bunch of cards that were throwaway. Santiago Moreno didn't end up playing, which was a shame. Juan Jesus shot a nice big 67. Julien did what Athletic Club have been doing the last couple of days, came off the bench for the last half an hour to get some game time, but as you can see, not much from the others. Champion Classic, which I was hopeful for, DeMarcus didn't play, Prados didn't play. As you can see, it's a lineup full of DMPs really this week, which was mainly due to the fact of just the amount of rotation within the teams, especially some of the teams with it being their last game of the season. There was always going to be a lot of rotation. Unai Simon kept a clean sheet, but that was realistically it. All-Star Limited, Prevot in a 2-1 loss shot a 54, which was good to see. Paulo Diaz, 1-0 loss, 57. Emratby with 3 goals in their game, 57, but couldn't get decisive action, which was a shame. Watanbe played the full 90 minutes, but they lost 5-1 away from home, which was awful. And Sorensen with the awful score, his lowest score on the platform. Surprisingly, only 100 points away from a reward. Then we go into the Contender Classic, which is my J-League lineup. Usami with some decent AA, but couldn't get a decisive action, which is a shame. Jokdeng conceding 2 goals, but still some very, very good AA in that game for him, and he's actually been scoring pretty well recently. And then a 1-1 for the other boys, just some very poor performances from Makuna and Tanaka. And Kim Jin Hwan shot at 50, conceded 1 goal, not bad. Obviously lost a lot of points, sadly, to possession lost, but shot 20 points in goal, which he always seems to do, and is always quite a consistent keeper, which is why he's always good to have in the lineup. Then we go to our first reward, which is a tier 5 Cap 220, which was a complete throwaway team. Axel Werner ended up shooting a 90 score in that 2-0 win, which was lovely. Watambe shot a 60, which helped me out massively because he was on an awful score and was the captain. Annoyingly, in the last minute, he got another assist, pushing his score up to 70. However, obviously it wouldn't have been enough, even with the captaincy bonus, to take us into the tier 4, but it would have put us a lot higher in the tier 5 threshold. But that goal got ruled off for offside. Kamal Miller played the full game, but only shot 0.6 AA, couldn't do anything really. And Kanga, same thing, full 90 minutes, couldn't get a decisive action with 2 goals in that game. And thankfully, Mahid did play the full game. They did win as well, 2-0, but he couldn't really do anything at all. But with 220, scoring just shy of 300 points gives us a tier 5, which I'm very, very happy about. And then my first tier 2 limited was the Portland Timbers stack, which has finally paid out. It's paid out a few times for lower tier cards, tier 5s, but my first ever tier 2. Felipe Mora with a goal and assist, Evander with a goal and assist, and obviously some great AA as always, and being captain with the beautiful 140 points. Diego Chara with some very, very good AA as well for the 31 points, and then Zuparic with some decent AA of almost 20, and Maxim Kripo couldn't really do anything, but finished 44th here, 390 points, which I think is my highest ever point threshold, just shy of the 400 mark, obviously quite far off of that tier 1 position, only just in tier 2, so it's going to be a low end tier 2, but I am still hopeful for a tier 2 and not a high end tier 3. And on another day, if they keep a clean sheet, it's an extra 35 points there, 10 points there. Obviously, don't lose 2 points there, don't lose 2 points here. We're getting ourselves that tier 1, and we're getting into the top five places and potentially a podium. So very, very happy with this lineup, and let's get into the rewards. So starting off, we are going to open our coins, just 100 coins. Then we have a tier 5 from cap 220. So, no idea. Ivory Coast, I want to say. Defender for Udinese. And he's under 20. Feste. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so, last sale was 60 pence, which isn't bad for a tier 5. Scoring wise, lots of sub action for Udinese, but he was playing in right mid, got some game time, has shot 100 in the past, look at his all-time scores. Has he always been at Udinese? Oh, he plays for Ireland. He's Irish. That's my bad, I thought it was from the Ivory Coast. Republic of Ireland, does he get game time? He's been a sub before, he's had a few minutes, and he is only young. Played for Derby before, and some sub and some game time there. So he's kind of in and out of the team by the looks of things. Is a right mid, says here, but on the game he is a defender. I'm very content with that. Very content with that. We then have our Challenger Classic Season Limited, which, like I say, is my first tier 2. So we've got Turkish. Forward is always good for Galatasaray. Kerem Otoglu. Now, does play for Galatasaray, which is always a good sign because obviously they are a very good team within Turkey. Kerem. Okay, so looking at his price coming in at £7.50, which we love to see. A good player there. L40 of almost 50 is nice to see. L5's been pretty low recently, and that's a card we like to see. That is a card we like to see. Now, he has had quite a few sub appearances recently for Galatasaray, but before then, playing cam, in and out of the team. Some very good scores there. Interested to see what happens over the summer. Looking at his all-time scores, he has been a very good scorer on the platform and continues to do so. And he does get game time for Turkey as well. He does seem to start most games for Turkey, especially as of recently. Obviously, Turkey are in the Euros. They have Georgia, Portugal, and the Czech Republic in their group, and that's a forward, which I'm very excited about. Obviously, Portugal tough, Czech Republic probably on par with Turkey, Georgia not on par, I would say, in my standings. But now we have a forward that can play in the upcoming game weeks over the summer, which I'm very, very happy about because I did need a forward for the Euros coming up, and there's still more. I need to see who else within my gallery is going to be playing for their respective nations, but thankfully I've got the goalkeepers down, so it's just building out the rest of the team. But that's pretty cool. And then we have 4 boxes to open, so I'm very, very, very happy with that. Let's just refresh the page and then go in and open these boxes. Obviously, if I could get a reward, a card out of the boxes, it would be lovely. Still yet to get a card out of the boxes, but for my tier 2, very content with a forward that starts and plays for both a very good team in Galatasaray and secondary plays for their nation as well. So 2 boxes down, nothing so far. Just level up, last box of the day, probably nothing as always, and it is just 4 level ups, but very content with those rewards. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. As always, thank you very much for watching, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video.